Hi. So I had some videos planned to make, but I'm making this one instead. I just felt like I wanted to make a video about this. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the Georgia Guidestones. Okay. I think this is such a fascinating um, thing. It's monument, whatever you want to call it, to talk about. And I was just looking at some things about this, and I found it so mesmerizing. And so I thought I would share some of my thoughts on this, and because I think uh, it wowed me when I uh, as I began to take in more about this. And I think there is some very interesting and very phenomenal possibilities that this um, implies. So I'm just going to talk about a few things on this. And as for the full details on this, I think you can see it for yourself with images and so on, and videos and so on. But I think the main point of this video is for me to share some of my thoughts on this. I'm going to go through some of the main aspects of this, and yeah, share some of my thoughts on this. Okay, so one of the one of the main things that is sort of like one of the texts about this is that it says, "Let these be guidestones to an age of reason." I think that is really great. And as I was going through this, I found that it takes a very balanced approach. The creators of this, they have taken, as this says, for an age of reason. I think it takes a rational, um, I mean, and how do I say it? A balanced approach. I found that I found that there is harmony. It symbolizes a sort of harmony with, especially with nature and with humanity itself. So I think it's pretty interesting. And along with the guidestones, written on the guidestones, inscribed on the guidestones, are a set of 10 guidelines or principles. Okay, so I'm going to go over them, and these are written in 8 languages. And I think it takes a very um, international approach, obviously, to this entire um, how do you say, this thinking and this um, vision, I guess you could say. So I'm going to go over them and just maybe add a few thoughts on this. Okay, so it has 10 guidelines, let's say, uh, inscribed on it. So I'm going to go over them. Okay, so let's start here. Okay, one, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Two, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Three, unite humanity with a living new language. I think that is interesting. A living language. I think it's interesting what that entails. Um, okay, let's move on. Okay, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Fifth, five, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Okay, so reason and justice. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Okay. Seven, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Eight, balance personal rights with social duties. I think again this goes well with what I was saying before. It feels balanced as to the guidelines that are on this. Okay, next. Nine, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. I think that is amazing. That is, I love that. 10, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. I think that is pretty good. And so I thought this was, I don't know. Do we, as humanity, do we feel that, I think this is a pretty good approach, but are we in a state where we can harmonize with enlightened thinking as to what direction humanity needs to take? Are we in that state right now? I think you can see for yourself. But I I feel like, in what way, what could we do about this? I think that's a very good question to ask ourselves. What can we do about this? Because I think that this is something that humanity very desperately needs. It needs more harmony. It needs more balance. It needs more enlightenment. It needs more rationality. It needs more, as it says, tempered reason. It needs it needs that stability. I think that's a very important thing. And of course, with nature, um, as it says, I think in pretty strong language, it says, "Be not a cancer on these, not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature." I think that's a very important part, and I think it emphasizes on it. So I thought it was. I think it's a very good message, and I wanted to sort of reiterate this in some sense with this video. And I think, yeah, that's it. So I was thinking, if I were to, as an exercise, work on something similar to this, how would I do this? What kind of principles would I start out with on this? So I'm going to think about this. I'm going to think about the all kinds of implications of this, and in what way could we steer humanity in a direction that is more harmonious and that is balanced with itself and with nature. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful artifact for us, for future generations, and I enjoyed it. I think it's good. So yeah, those are just some of my thoughts on this. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, on this monument, on this artifact, and yeah, how do you see? In what ways could you see bringing an age of reason, as it says, bringing that dawn onto humanity and that enlightenment? Okay, so let me know what your thoughts are, and yeah, that's it for this video. Check out any details that you might want to see on this monument, and yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next videos. Okay.